Hi, I'm Carolyn Bradley, and we're at my farm, which is in Marshall, North Carolina. Okay, on our farm we have 12 sections. They vary in size from 5 acres, from 2.5 acres. Some are 5 acres, some are 12 acres, and some are 20 acres. And it depends on the mountain terrain in terms of the way we have them cross-fenced. We do rotate our cattle based on the length of the grass, and when it gets about 3.5 inches, we rotate them into a new pasture. Every section has water. Some are natural creeks. We do have one section with a pond, but we also have the cattle watering tank in all of the sections but 2. In the distance behind me, you'll see a fescue orchard grass pasture that is currently waiting and ready to be bush hogged. We will not overseed until fall, until it cools off. We'll probably let it rest and not use it again until late fall this year. But we do a combination on the rotating into the summer millet and then back into the regular pasture based on the growth of the grass. We're currently at the facility, the cattle working facility, and this facility was built in 2005 as part of our management program to work with our cattle. We have a cattle facility that has 3 major sections, and that allows us to sort them, whether we're taking 3 or 4 a month to the processor, which is what we do for our grass-fed beef operation. Okay, our farm, we started our farm in 2000. It's been in my family since 1945, but my parents had to leave the farm for health reasons in 2000, and we stepped in and started taking care of it. We brought in our first cow herd in 2004, but we did a lot of research together, and we wanted to do grass-fed beef because of all the health benefits. We wanted to grow healthy things for people. Okay, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our herd. In the beginning, I was real green to buying cattle, and I bought a Brahma Angus herd out of South Georgia and brought them up here. And that was actually before we built the corral, and I turned them loose, and we couldn't get them back off the mountaintop for more than a year, almost. So I learned that Brahma Angus as a breed is really hard to work with, and some of them were very mean, and so we ended up having to take them out of our program. We replaced them with Wye Angus cattle. They're very docile, very gentle, and we started with Wye Angus bull and about a dozen moms. Behind me is our newest acquisition. We have 10. These are first-year heifers. They've just had their first calves this spring, and they are 100% registered Wye Angus cattle. If you don't know about the Wye Angus program, it originated out of the University of Maryland, and we have a gentleman here in Madison County that has a straight registered herd that I work with him to get a lot of our seed stock. More than 60% of our mamas, we've got 34 mamas in the program, more than 60% are registered Angus. From the original group, we have a few black baldies, and those black baldies were because there was a Hereford bull in the background with those Brahma Angus cows. Both groups have done well. Like any cattle farmer, we select out the ones that are not manageable, and for us, we put them into the slaughter program, and they end up being ground beef or ground sausage. But that's really kind of the history on our cattle operation. We do currently have about 85 in our program, but that includes all ages: cows, calves, weanlings, and yearlings, and mamas and 2 bulls. I wanted to share with you a little bit about our reproductive program. We have 2 registered Wye Angus bulls, and we do calve year-round on the farm except for December, January, and February. We calve year-round because we slaughter year-round, and we try to avoid those 3 months because sometimes it can get a little bit rough up here in the mountains in the wintertime. We do bring a vet out and let her pregnancy check anyone that we have questions or doubts about. Since more than 60% of our herd is registered Wye Angus, the bull is 100% registered Wye Angus. So the Wye Angus influence is pretty heavy in our program and has done well for us in finishing out grass-fed beef. I wanted to share a little bit about our nutritional program. We do use protein mineral tubs. We currently get our tubs from southern states, and we use the 26% protein or their new 30% protein mineral supplement program. We also use a block, a salt block. We keep a salt mineral block out to all groups. One of the challenges that we're learning is that it's going to be helpful to our cattle to change them to a loose mineral program, and we're currently working with some different people on the mix and what to give them and the bunkers to use. So that part of our nutritional program for the cattle is changing. In the winter, we do use a combination of big round rolls of hay and haylage. They get the haylage is much higher in protein, and they get that once a week, and then they get hay the rest of the week. The biggest thing, I guess, for us is being sure that we get our yearling groups, the heifers and the steers, to 1,000 or 1,100 pounds. Currently, it takes us anywhere from 20 to 28 months to get them just on grass and just on hay and haylage. So it's been a challenge, but what we wanted to provide our public as we're selling, and we've been doing this for 10 years, is a totally grass-fed animal without grain inputs. And we're happy to say that we're able to do that. We're standing in front of a renovated tobacco barn, and when we started our program in 2000, we spent about 3 years renovating the farm, building fences and renovating barns so that we would have room for hay storage, because we knew that we wanted to run a grass-fed beef operation. Our operation is strictly a beef operation. We don't even grow a garden here. I grow some flowers. But we only grow beef and sell it in North Carolina and in Georgia. Our predominant markets are in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Mike?
And I guess we started marketing in about 2006, 2007, something like that. Originally in the local area here. But then we decided, because we were still living and working in the Atlanta area, to move our main markets down there. Let's see, we've had very good growth, good acceptance of the product, and really our lifeblood is the return customers that we have, and we're very fortunate there. We have quite a few that we've had for a number of years now. We do primarily two big markets in Atlanta, Peachtree City and Piedmont Park, and then we also do a couple of smaller ones that are during the week markets. And the Peachtree City is a year-round market. Piedmont Park is about 9 months out of the year, something like that. And
we do market directly to the consumer. That was our focus and our goal. We have had several restaurants over the years as customers, but we have specifically said to them, we're not here to serve restaurants or to sell wholesale. Because our operation is small, we have to be able to sell it at a regular retail price to support the farm. But the Peachtree City market, we are one of the original vendors that helped start up that market in 2008, and we have been their original beef vendor since the startup of that market.
Most of our business is you're standing there talking to the person that's going to use it, and they seem to like the product very much. We get most of our promotion is by word of mouth.
Our storage of beef is really unique, I think. We store here in North Carolina in Marshall at the Extension Service. We're fortunate. We're one of the farmers that's able to use the facility that has a storage area for coal products. That's been the cornerstone of where we keep our meat. We do both have our meat handler's license here in North Carolina and in Georgia. We do have freezers here at the farm, and we do have customers here in North Carolina that pick up on the farm. We always do that by email or by text messaging, and that happens every week. We also store meat in Georgia, so when we go back, we take back about 600 pounds every 2 weeks. 600 pounds, as many sometimes as 900 pounds, 1,000 pounds, using dry ice or Yeti packs to keep everything solidly frozen, and that's the way we transport it from North Carolina to Georgia.
Give you an idea of how we've grown. We started out with one freezer in Georgia, and now we have 8. So that's some indication of the way our business has grown. We've been very blessed over the years, and I guess what, about 7 or 8 years now in those markets to work out how it's done.